Inzamam-ul-Haq was the calm in the storm. Tall, broad-shouldered, and unhurried, he looked almost sleepy at the crease. He never bounced around like a sprinter, never shadow-batted with nervous energy, and rarely raised his voice. Yet bowlers, fast or slow, raw or world-class, kept walking back with the same puzzled look. How did that ball end up at the boundary? This is the story of a man often called lazy, who turned stillness into strength and turned timing into a weapon. A popular tale claims he had a deal in local games to sleep after scoring 100 so that he didn't have to field. Only Inzaman can do that. Born in Multan on March 3rd, 1970, Inzaman grew up in a city known for heat, dust, shrines, and a slower pace of life. That rhythm never left him. Even when he broke into international cricket in the early 1990s, ODI debut in 1991, Test debut in 1992, he carried an easy, almost casual air. For some fans, that looked like laziness. For bowlers, it was a trap. He held the bat deep, watched late, and let the ball come to him. He did not force strokes. He allowed them to happen. On television, his bat swing looked simple. A short lift, a smooth downswing, and a finish that rarely tried to be pretty. The ball, however, kept speeding past fielders who had not seen a risk and were suddenly picking the ball out of the rope.
सब लोग बात करते हैं सचिन तेंदुलकर की, लेकिन मैं इंजमाम-उल-हक एशिया का सबसे बड़ा मिडल ऑर्डर का बैट्समैन मैं मानता हूँ.
If you had to choose one moment when the world discovered Inzaman, it would be the 1992 Cricket World Cup semi-final at Eden Park, Auckland. Pakistan were chasing a stiff target against New Zealand. The game was tense.
England are favourites. They've been in the business a long time. That's out. He's taken the top edge as he's gone for the sweep shot there, and it's gone straight to backward square leg.
Then a young, broad-chested right-hander walked in and tore up the script.
And he's got that one away too, exactly the same place. Patel dropping it short. This is the guy who should have opened the batting. Magnificent shot there from Inzamam-ul-Haq.
It wasn't a collection of wild signs. It was controlled mayhem. Clean hits into gaps, fast hands through the line, and a natural reading of length. In minutes, the asking rate collapsed, and with it, New Zealand's grip on the match. Pakistan won the semi-final where Inzaman scored a quick-fire 60 off 37, then the World Cup final at Melbourne where he scored 42 off 35 and helped Pakistan lift the World Cup. The world realized this quiet batter had the nerve for the biggest stage. Ask any bowler what troubles them in a batter and they will say late play, a straight bat, and few tells. Inzaman ticked all three. He rarely moved early. His back and across trigger was subtle. His head stayed still. So the length that fooled others did not fool him. When they aimed at off stump, he let it be. When they offered legs, he picked them off. When they blocked his easy singles, he went over the top. High and straight, not hard and across. He made bowlers feel that their good ball was merely serviceable. That eats at a bowler. On turning pitches, he came forward with a bat as firm as a shutter, killing spin. On flat tracks, he never chased width early. He made you come to him. And when reverse swing arrived, something he saw up close in Pakistan nets, he respected it early and cashed in when it faded. This rhythm sense, this feel for the life of the ball across a spell, is rare. Inzaman had it in spades. It is easy to use superlatives in cricket, but runs are the real language. Inzaman spoke it fluently for more than a decade. In Test cricket, he built hundreds, a home and away, including a towering triple hundred in Lahore versus New Zealand in 2002. In one-day cricket, he stacked up thousands with a style that wasn't about slogging. He was the hub. Teams batted around him. He crossed 10,000 ODI runs in 2004, a landmark that underlined consistency over flair. If Pakistan won a tight chase, you could often trace the heartbeat of the innings to the tall man in the middle, nudging, guiding, then kneading, hitting through the line, as if swatting away annoyance. No story about Inzamam is complete without the jokes about his running between the wickets. He was involved in many run-outs, some of them unfortunate, some of them, frankly, comic. Fans made compilations, commentators sighed, teammates smiled.
Oh, gone. I mean, that is just ridiculous. We've been talking about Inzamam's lack of ability running between the wickets. Well, Ijaz has gone, and I can only assume that was just a complete lack of communication between the two of them.
Yet, the very next over you would see the same batter turning a full ball into a quiet single, or stroke a boundary with no visible effort. It made the lazy tag sticky. But batting is not a sprint. It is decision-making under pressure. Inzamam's decisions with the bat, ball after ball, hour after hour, were calm and often correct. His choices between the wickets were not his strength. His choices at the crease were nearly unmatched. Inzamam eventually became Pakistan's captain in 2003. He was not a speechmaker in the classic sense. His leadership looked like his batting, still firm and based on trust. He backed his players, sometimes fiercely. Under him, Pakistan won tough series and played with a grounded confidence, especially at home. He gave younger batters cover and asked his bowlers to hunt in pairs. Leadership also brought trials. The 2006 Oval Test against England, when Pakistan refused to take the field after a ball tampering accusation, remains one of sport's most fraught episodes. As captain, Inzamam stood in the middle of a storm that mixed law, pride, and miscommunication. He was later cleared of ball tampering, but the fallout was heavy. Through it all, he stayed true to his manner. No theatrics, just a plain defense of his team's dignity. You could agree or disagree with the choices made that day, but you could not miss the loyalty he carried for his side. Inzamam loved building second innings scores that rescued matches. He had a knack for walking in when the pitch had aged and the chase felt tight, and then ironing the game flat with time and touch. One of his most admired test knocks came when Pakistan were wobbling against Bangladesh at Multan in 2003 in pursuit of 261 but slipped to 148 for 6. He played with the tailenders and scored an unbeaten 138, carrying Pakistan through. Teammates, even those who teased him, speak of his presence with warmth. He was a mentor before the title existed formally. Youngsters learned from watching how to read length early, how not to chase balls when you don't need, how to build an innings brick by brick. He taught them patience by example. He taught them that you can be a star without being loud. Off the field, he kept his circle close and his life simple. He loved his city, Multan. The nickname Multan Ka Sultan wasn't just marketing, it fit. He carried his home with him, its warmth, its food, its pace. When he later worked as a coach and selector, you could see the same values in the players he backed. Time at the crease, a strong core game, and a calm head. He coached Pakistan from 2015 to 2016 and then served as Pakistan's chief selector from 2016. Was he lazy? If you define laziness as doing as little as possible, then yes, he cut out fuss, trimmed movement, and saved energy. But sport has a better word for that: economy. It is what great golfers do with their swings, what classy tennis players do with placement, what the best quarterbacks do with time in the pocket. Inzamam did it with a bat. He was not a poster for modern training, and he would be the first to admit he was not the quickest runner, but he was a poster for clarity. He knew what he could do, what he could not do, and what the match needed from him right then. That clarity made him a nightmare to bowl and a comfort for whoever was batting at the other end. When his playing days wound down, there was no grand farewell tour with all the trappings. He slipped away like he played, quietly. He retired from ODIs in 2007 and from tests later that year. He stayed in the game as a mentor, coach, and selector, carrying forward his belief in time at the crease and simple scoring options. Young batters who studied him found something timeless. The ball is small, the bat is flat, the game lasts long, and nerves beat muscles. So call him lazy if you like. He would probably shrug. The scorebook, as always, would shrug back, then nod toward the man from Multan who mastered time, trusted touch, and showed that domination can be almost silent.